Hi beautiful people, this channel is all about self-reflection and motivation. So please subscribe, like this video in the end if you really love it, and be a part in something that's going to be amazing. Guys, I'm Lodi, and today my subject is a message to the young African people and the young African descendant. I often think to the young African people who are 16, even more, the young African people and the African descendant who live in Europe. To that young African people and the African descendant living in Europe, often at school, the European societies teach you that your ancestral was nothing else than slave. That your ancestral haven't done anything on that planet. As a minority people, as a young minority people living in Europe, especially as a young black minority people, as a young black minority people living in Europe, the European society wants you to disappreciate your culture. They want you to hate your culture, your true identity. They want you to adapt and love them culture who mostly glorify them. They want you to celebrate the Queen Victoria. They want you to celebrate Charles de Gaulle. They want you to celebrate the King John of Portugal. They want you to celebrate Abraham Lincoln. They want you to remember all that European and American figure who mostly got a family plantation background and empower themselves because of the blood of the black people. Accepted Abraham Lincoln, and is not even sure that Abraham Lincoln never had a member to his family who was a slave owner. And of course, many people, black or white people, when we're thinking about Abraham Lincoln, we're thinking about he's lost his life because of the social and the political pressure in America between black and white people. Today in the 21st century, as a young black minority people, the European society want to let you think that you are a part of them society. As a young black minority people in Europe, when you are good employed, you're British enough. When you're good employed, you're French enough. When you're good employed, you're black Italian enough. When you're good employed, you're black German enough. When you're a footballer player, you win. You're good enough to be identified as a British player. When you're a footballer player, you win. You're good enough to be identified as a black French footballer player. But when something goes wrong, the European society look at you as a minority. They don't look at you as a British anymore. They don't look at you as a French anymore. They don't look at you as a German anymore. They don't look at you as an Italian anymore. Now in the 21st century, as a young black man, you're fashionable. As a young black man who is successful, as a successful black man, the European society loves to see you with a white woman. As longer as you're successful, the money of your success will be used and spent by your white wife. As a successful young black footballer player, it's more fashionable to be with a white woman than with a dark-skinned girl. As a handsome young black man, young black singer, it's more fashionable to have a girlfriend look like Kim Kardashian than Lupita and Goyo. As an handsome and successful young black man, even the science fiction and Hollywood told you that it's better to be with a light-skinned girl, with a white woman, than a black-skinned woman. As a black man and young black man, the European society glorifies you. The European society uses you as a sex symbol because of your sexual organ mythology. Today, in the 21st century, as a young black man, the European society loves to promote and to protect you as a young black gay. They love to promote that on movie, and they love to promote that on the TV show. But they don't love to see you with a black woman as a family and being successful. The European society loves to break down the image of the Afro family. The image of the black woman wanted to be single mother, the strongest black woman who educates her children alone. The image of the black man must be a sex symbol, a gay, or a black man with a mixed race kid. Most of the young black men successful because of them ego and because of them inferiority complex. When they successful, they want to be with a white woman because of the definition of success and glory for the male gender is to be with a light-skinned girl or with a white woman. Most of the young successful black men want to be in the same level them ex-ancestral oppressor. It sounds ridiculous, even old-fashioned, but this is still a reality in 2021. Most of the young black men living in Europe lost them entity because the European society put them high. But what they don't know is that the European society used them as a subject, the sexual subject. But my message to the young black man, African and African descendant is don't forget that your ancestor was enslaved during 4th century by the same people who glorify you and use you as a sex symbol today. Kill half of your true history, steal your true identity and give that to others. Steal your ancestral natural resources. Sell woman, sell man, and sell kid. As a young African and African descendant, they told to the world that you're nothing else than a slave descendant. That your ancestor wasn't nothing before they discovered them. Please, black man, please, young black man, African man, and African descendant, do never forget this. Do never forget this because the human being mind tend to forget quickly. Do never forget, remember about the true story of your ancestor. Please, the young black man and the young African man come from the diaspora. Do never forget that your ancestor was the first people on that planet. Do never forget that your African ancestor was 100 times more rich and more wealthy before they meet the European people. Do never forget that your African ancestor was in perfect harmony with the nature, with God, and with the star. Please do never forget that your African ancestor discovered the number, discovered what astrology was about. Do never forget that your African ancestor was the first who discovered the natural medicine. Do never forget that your African ancestor was in advance in the human right and especially the Roman right. Do never forget that your African ancestor was the first who highly protects the environment, protects this planet, and also protects everything who was in life on this planet, and who was the first who highly respect and protects animals. Do never forget that your African ancestor was perfectly mastering the mathematics and the geometry. Artistically, your African ancestor was a genius. Sculpturally, geometrically, astrologically, and philosophically. Do never forget that your African ancestors are a king and queen who built the pyramid. Do never forget that your African ancestor was the first who built the family dynasty, who was the first who built a kingdom, and was the first who built the family empire. Do never forget that your African ancestor was the first who built out the basement, the fundamental basement, who serve an example for all of the world today. Young African man and young African come from the diaspora and African descendants. Please do never forget that Africa was a glory. Africa was a glory before the European invasion. Please, young African and African come from the diaspora and African descendants, do never forget that by jealousy and envious, your people was destroyed during 4th century. Please, young African and African descendants, do never believe that ridiculous bullshit about your ancestor at school, in the oldest book, in the movie. Please don't believe them about the past of your ancestor. It's all about deformation and lying. Please, young African and African descendants, don't be ashamed of 4th century of slavery. You more than that. Your ancestor was more than that. Embrace and celebrate your blackness. Celebrate your ancestor. Please, young African and African descendants, do never forget that your blood is the blood of king and queen. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you really enjoyed that subject. Please let me know in the comment how we can help the young generation of African people and African descendants living in Europe to embrace and celebrate more them culture, celebrate more them entity and them ancestral first, than to celebrate somebody else's culture. Thank you so much, guys, and please don't leave this channel without subscribe. There is nothing to lose, but you will challenge so much more your own reflection. Click on the right button, like this video, share this video. I kiss you a lot and I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Bye.